We are talking the latest Detroit Lions news here, and we're going to talk about Ben Johnson coming back, what it means for the Detroit Lions franchise as a whole, and him. Jared Goff rising, getting love from ESPN. We're going to talk about it. Lions' expectations now is to win the NFC North. My thoughts on why, and a funky mock draft as the Lions taking a quarterback in a trade. But before we get into today's video, if you love Detroit Lions, you love football and draft prospects, go ahead and subscribe to my channel because that's all I do. I talk Lions and football, and we have a fun time doing so. Also, before this intro hits, smash that like button. Let's get into this video right now. Ben Johnson is returning back because he turned down the interview requests from multiple teams. Why is that? Because he wants to see this thing through. He wants to see Detroit be a winner, and he's betting on himself for this season to potentially become a head coach next year, in my opinion. Now, this is tweeted out by Tom Pelissero. Johnson was slated to travel Wednesday interview with the Panthers, but he feels Detroit is building something special, and he wants to see it through. Pelissero tweeted Tuesday night, should be a hot head coaching name, come again next year. And this is what he wants to do, folks. He wants to get the chemistry with Jared Goff to go to the next level, building on what he did from year 1, year 2, and this season for year 3. Get Jameson Williams to an elite status. You do that, he even looks even better. Improve this offense as a whole and improve the running game. He does those things, and he's definitely going to be a hot commodity. He loves the coaches here in Detroit and the way we're building it here, the changing of the guard for the Lions. It's a hot spot, a hot love. You're hearing a lot of love in Detroit. He knows the 2024 openings potentially could have a team like the Chargers, who have a very young team, build sustained success. Not just success one time, but sustained success and improving the quality of players on this football team. So that's what he wants to do, and I concur with him. And I got a question for you. Do you think the Detroit Lions going to win the NFC North? Why for yes and for no? That's going to be the pinned comment for this video. I want to know what you have. Let's go ahead and give some love to Jared Goff here because ESPN finally did it. Not a lot that they do there regarding Jared Goff, but it's about damn time big media shows this man some love because ESPN dropped a list of 100 most valuable players for the NFL in 2022. Jared Goff was ranked 15. You heard that right. 15. Getting some love there for number 16 himself. Why are they showing him love? Because in all statistical categories, Goff was top 10. He took the Lions from a 3-win team to a 9-win winning team since 2017, when we were, 5 years ago. The confidence built in Jared Goff is much improved from when he was traded, and the adversity after being traded from a team that was really good in the Rams to the team in Detroit that was in rebuild from that Goff-Stafford trade. ESPN stated, Goff finished this season 5th in QBR and led an offense that ranked 3rd in EPA per dropback, only behind the Chiefs and Bills. Walter wrote, and he did it without a lot of help with his teammates. His offensive line was average in pass protection. I disagree. While amon-ra St. Brown was very good, Lions' receiving group wasn't particularly impressive as a whole. Jared Goff nearly had 4,500 passing yards. That is quite a bit. 29 touchdowns to the most impressive stat of 7 interceptions and a good QBR of 61.2. And when you look at those stats, say, well, what does it mean? It means he was 5th in QBR in the NFL of all 32 quarterbacks. Tied for 8th in interceptions with only 7. Tied for 5th in most touchdowns in the NFL and 6th for yards. So he was balling. That's what those stats mean. That's what it means for Jared Goff. He was freaking balling like a baller. Let's continue on here and talk about the expectations right now for the Detroit Lions. And I think the expectations has to be you need to win the NFC North, folks. You have to. Why? Because the Bears are the first pick in the draft. They were the basement of the NFC North. Packers, we beat them twice. And guess what? It's not like they're getting better right now. Also, the Minnesota Vikings, they look like pretenders if they failed right off rip to win a playoff game. And the Detroit Lions, I believe, have the most youngest talent on all of the NFC North teams. Again, if you look at it, the Lions finished 8 wins and 2 losses, so 8 out of 10. They beat the NFC North 5 wins to 1 loss. Vikings are pretenders, in my opinion, and the Lions have young and better talent. That's why the expectation should be that way, and Alex Anzalone agrees. As he made a statement, he expects the Detroit Lions to make the playoffs. We're not in rebuild anymore. We're not. We expect to make the playoffs and win the NFC North. They expect to do it. And the way that the team played at the end, that's 100% agree with that idea. You have to do it. You got to win the NFC North. And believe me, folks, they believe that, and I think this team will do that. Folks, let's get to 500 likes. Challenging you. Let's see if this video gets 500. The more likes we get, the more chance this video gets pushed out there, and that's always a damn good thing. It really, really is. So smash that like button. Folks, I tell you that my daughter, my 17-year-old teenager, loves HBO and loves to get under my skin. And I don't like to spend money because I am Dutch. I am Micro Mike. That is my old name, and I did it for economics. And to save a little bit of money, you get this app called Rocket Money. It is a fantastic app. You go ahead and get it. I love using Rocket Money, and it's formerly known as Truebill. This app shows all your subscriptions in one place and cancels for whatever you still don't want. Rocket Money can even find subscriptions you did not know you were paying for. You may even get double charged for a subscription. Absolutely unacceptable. To cancel a subscription, all you got to do is press cancel, and Rocket Money takes care of the rest for you. So get rid of those useless subscriptions right now with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/LionsTalk. Support this channel by supporting the sponsor of this channel, and you can save money doing so. And it is my favorite sponsor, and I absolutely love it. Let's continue on here and talk about a mock draft that just came out. I seen it on Lions Wire. I seen it all over Google, and I was like, what in the hell? But I got asked for by some of the subscribers. I figure I'll throw that in this video as well. First off, they take Christian Gonzalez, the cornerback out of Oregon, at 6. Now, he's been mocked to the Lions. Hell, I mocked him at 18. I think it's a little aggressive to go at 6 for him, but not that big of a crazy one. The biggest one was trading for Anthony Richardson, trading up in the draft from pick 18, where we currently sit, to pick 15 with the Green Bay Packers. We give the Green Bay Packers the Detroit Lions' second-round pick, and we get Anthony Richardson from Florida, AR-15, to be a quarterback for our football team. First off, I don't believe that's the case. Brad Holmes himself said Jared Goff's the guy. That's one thing. So being aggressive and trade up to get a quarterback seems extremely unlikely. Jared Goff has played at an exceptional level. Ben Johnson's coming back. We need help at defense. And then we need help at defense. And then we need help at defense. And lastly, we need help at defense. Brad Holmes knows this. Everybody on the planet knows this. This defense needs the most talent. In the first round, I 100% believe they're going to go defense, regardless of what people in the mock draft world believe. Now, again, I'm not going to take shots at this guy or anybody else that mocks specific players to our team. Why? Because it's their opinion, folks. Everybody's allowed to have an opinion, but I want to give you my opinion on their draft and give you a little bit of more of a reality that they're not going to go that route, so you don't really need to worry. If you're a fan that wants defense, that is the route they're probably going to go there with pick 6 and 18. Now, they could trade up and down. It'd still probably be defense. It does not mean that they're not going to draft a quarterback. Let me make that exceptionally important to you. There does not mean they're not going to, because we do need a backup quarterback, and we got picks in the 6th round, 5th. Again, we can get a quarterback to develop behind Jared Goff, let him sit there, learn. Who's better than a Sudfeld? Who's better than a Boyle or a David Blau the recent years that we've had? Because we're trying to win the NFC North. And the last damn thing that we need, Jared Goff goes down for a couple games, we get in Sudfeld, and we lose automatically, and we don't make the playoffs. If you get a guy like San Francisco did with Brock Purdy, or just a young guy like a Sam Howell did over there for the Washington Commanders that can hold the fort down, you're doing the job right. And you're protecting yourself from error, because we need to win the playoffs. Just like Alex Anzalone says, we need to be a team that is going to compete in the postseason year in and year out. And a backup quarterback, a young guy who's cheap, by the way, much cheaper than free agency, can do that for you. Folks, One Pride Podcast is not going to be on tomorrow at 4 p.m. I do not know if I'm going to do it at before or after. I got to go get an MRI done on my spine for a potential fusion on my back. So I got to get that done. That will be tomorrow. So at some point tomorrow, I haven't figured out, I will do live, and hopefully everybody comes on there. We got videos dropping every single day. Detroit Lions. We're talking prospects. Everything going free agency. Get ready for it. With that said, folks, adios.